and has not lost a match in singles, mixed doubles, or women's doubles 6. Unbelievable.
First serve underway. Judit Castillo is Waters' opponent, not to be overlooked here. She is on the rise, originally out of Spain.
0-0.
Began playing tennis at age 12. Has a strong racket sport background. Sporting a new pink Selkirk paddle. So far with some crafty angles.
Yeah, and so these are two great soccer players in their youth as well. So the movement on both sides will be phenomenal throughout this match.
Off to a hot start for Judit Castillo. Could we have another potential Cinderella story?
Oh, I hope so. That was a tremendous men's match. Smart there from Castillo.
2-0.
Much harder to put an overhead away in pickleball versus tennis when you can bounce the rubbery ball of tennis into the grandstand. Here you cannot do that because the Durafast 40 plastic ball will not bounce up into the stands, so you've got to play on. So if you're in trouble, throw that ball up in the air and fight through it. You know, Castillo is one of these ladies that has really made her presence felt in singles, and not surprised to see her in a semifinal here in Seattle.
Oh, there she is. Leigh Waters catches Castillo on the run.
Yeah, uses that speed against her there. She took off to cover the forehand side.
Side out.
And in the women's singles, you will see more baseline rallies where neither lady comes in for a while until a short ball, where in the men's game, as you saw in the last match, the returner came in about 95% of the time, unless there was a unique serve that didn't give them a chance.
And why is that?
You know, they feel comfortable rallying, and they want to wait and pick their spots. So it depends on the player, certainly. But both these ladies like to come forward. But if they get the opportunity to rally from the baseline, they will do so.
Beautiful finish for Castillo, lined up her backhand down the line.
Yeah, and used her tennis background there. You're taught to run with the paddle, or the racket, or the paddle in our case, ready. So had that ready and just flicked it down the line. That's well done from Castillo.
Oh, just wide, had a wide open space to hit.
After an absurd lunging one-handed backhand volley that just kissed up over the net, then missed a much easier shot there, did Castillo. So Castillo has come out with a game plan here of I'm gonna grind ground strokes with Leigh Waters and not give her that energy and momentum of her passing shots that really drive that bus of hers. And so far so good for Castillo.
Easier said than done, though. How is she able to neutralize Leigh in terms of keeping her back and not? Because Leigh will dictate that. She'll come up even when the point doesn't necessarily allow for it for an average player.
So she has dictated the first several shots here with an aggressive serve and good ground strokes in the corner where it would have been dangerous for Leigh to come forward. That could certainly shift here. Oh, right there, and just not set with the forehand volley. But I think a lot of ladies play Leigh and they just think, I got to charge forward and don't hit a great return, and then they're in trouble off the get-go. Castillo's waiting to pick her spot to come in.
Yeah, you can see her depth. Right there.
Yep.
Point. Exactly to your point, Dave. can see that ball just barely catching inside the baseline, which is, as you said, such a key aspect of the sport, especially when it comes to playing the best in sport. Castillo off to a hot start. Played tennis at Northwestern State University in Louisiana.
I can't overrule that. You see it? Saw it out.
Waters
Out.
called it out, and it was confirmed.
Yeah, that was a weird one there where Castillo had an overhead lined up and then let it bounce and then took a hefty swing that just missed.
Side out.
And Leigh Waters just a little out of sorts here, so this is an opportunity for Castillo.
3-1. Side out.
That looked very much like her career in tennis. That's that slice backhand where you cross the feet behind and come forward. That's really hard to do with the pickleball.
1-3.
What a passing shot from the baseline from Leigh Waters.
So there's the difference. Change in philosophy. If you come in from the return, it's short and you get a ball smoked past you. So Castillo changed what she had been doing to hang in there with it, and now she stays back.
Beautiful finish for Waters. Ties it up 3-all. This is the first of two women's semifinal matchups we have here on center court. The other, Leigh Jansen.
3-3.
And Jana Newell.
Side out.
Several Seattle natives still in the draw to this point. We'll get you through to the semifinals and then save the championship rounds for Sunday.
3-3.
Best 2 out of 3 games. Games to 11. Side out scoring. Win by 2.
Side out.
So good. She's in the middle of the court hitting a passing shot. How does she do that with such ease?
Yeah, she just sets herself up, and it looks, it's disguised because it looks like it can go either way, and then she rolls the paddle face through if she wants to bring it cross court.
Oh!
Just an onslaught from Leigh Waters there, and then what a fun little finish there. Like,
focusing on a course load.
Good choice there, Leigh.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Point.
Hey, you're the best player in the world at a sport, or you can be pretty darn good at soccer. Good choice. And again, this is what happens when players play against her. You're there, you feel like you've got a shot, and you look up at the scoreboard, I must be up a couple, and you're actually down a couple.
Castillo losing her grip. Off to a good start, but that's where these
6-3.
#1 players can get you. What a shot from Leigh Waters. Now on top 7-3.
And she's using the strategy that's used against her, which is returning and hitting that first volley in the middle of the court to make angles harder for your opponent, and then smoking the opportunity.
Side out.
Leigh Waters, coached and formerly played with her mother, won a national championship with her in 2019, as we check in now with Hannah John standing by with a special guest.
Thanks, Michelle. Leigh, mom, partner, best friend to Leigh. You're here courtside. What are you telling Leigh during this matchup? Yeah, I mean, right now she's playing Judit, who is fairly a newcomer, so we don't know her game that well. She's definitely already made her mark in the singles game. She's very athletic, very fast. She anticipates very well. So right now it's kind of like just trying to feel your opponent out, looking for maybe that one weakness that you can start to try to attack. But she's definitely not showing many weaknesses right now.
Well, as you mentioned, she's a player with a very quick trajectory upwards. What characteristics create a player that's going to move up the rankings fast, as Judit has?
Yeah, I mean, definitely true athleticism helps. And like I said, she's extremely fast. She anticipates well. I think she came from a tennis background, so that definitely helps in pickleball. And from what I hear, she's extremely hard worker off the court. So she has a lot of things going for her, for sure.
Receiver, 9-3.
Well, Natty, scan that QR code and come see these great players when they come to your area. And the other thing you can do is play right next to these pros. There's over 1,000 amateurs playing right here next to these players here in Seattle, and it's so great to see the camaraderie between the fans and these great players.
Point. Game 11-3.
And just and didn't look back, won 11 straight points. So we look ahead to game 2. Judit Castillo needs a big response. Oh, that would have been sensational from Leigh Waters. So close.
I would have been asking them to reset the top 10 on SportsCenter if she made that one. Tries the tweener, but doesn't quite make it.
1-0.
And Castillo needs to just throw away the back half of game number 1 and get back into what got her the good start.
Point. Two zero.
Wow, wheels on Castillo. You hate to see that one land out of bounds.
Yeah, that background as a kid playing soccer, she just moves so well, and that gives her such an advantage, because if you're in good position, then you can take good swings, good clean swings at the ball. She gets there more than most.
Point.
And a little off speed from Leigh there, and that's what you can do. Judit is running parallel to the baseline, so make her run forward as well there. And nice deception on that swing from Leigh.
Point.
Can't happen.
Very slim margin of error at the top of the game, as we saw with Ben Johns. Just the difference of 2 missed shots, and Connor Garnett had that semifinal.
Point.
Yeah, this is a little different animal here, and now Judit starts thinking, what do I got to do to win rallies? So I need to start trying to hit baselines. That's not the right mentality. You don't want to overhit, and that's hard when Leigh is putting on a show.
A punishing overhead from Leigh Waters. On top by 2.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do in pickleball. Find an angle on the overhead, and Leigh did. Jansen is in the other semifinal, and she wants to get revenge for one of the best matches of the year that she played in Texas earlier this year against Leigh, where she, much like Connor Garnett in our earlier match, had match points against the top seed and wasn't able to close the door.
Rankings system is a point system similar to tennis.
Yes. Yeah,
wow.
Results based, and again, there's how you beat a great athlete who anticipates so well. Castillo just took off to the forehand side, and Leigh let her run and then just bunted it behind her. Such a smart player, too, at just 16, as you mentioned.
6-2. Point.
Got to see a little of the soccer prowess there as Castillo
7-2.
picked that ball up off the ground like nothing with her feet.
What a backhand roll from Judit Castillo.
So Judit has adjusted and said, all right, well, you keep hitting it behind me. I'm not going to go charging over to the other side. So she just held her position that time on the overhead and was able to fight her way back. So nice in-game adjustment by her, but still a big Mount Rainier to climb here.
Oh, wow. She wanted to so badly for
She
that ball
even
to
called
be
it
out.
out.
Please,
And
anything.
then just so sad as that ball landed, and her whole, it's like somebody pushed her and her whole back bent in half.
7-2.
Leigh Waters closing in on a match victory here. That's a way to step in to the volley for Judit Castillo. You mentioned the back-breaking reaction of Judit Castillo when that ball landed in. Well, here's another look. Oh, no.
Just the life just sucked out of her there. Like, there's no way.
Oh, nice shot down the line for Castillo.
And that's where her movement enables her to get to that ball and then have options. And again, with the disguise on the two-handed backhand, she can roll that or just curl it into the corner. That was beautiful from Castillo.
3-7. Side out.
Was there in plenty of time and then didn't swing through it, but that movement is there. And as Leigh Waters mentioned, she had heard that Castillo works really hard. No one works harder than this lady, both on and off the court. She wanted it. She wanted to be a pro player. She actually showed up in Dallas in December and said, I'm going to go do this. I was out on the court with her, and look how far she has come in a very short amount of time. She hadn't played a pro match at that point.
That's impressive time because the gap is narrowing for people to just decide and pick it up and enter the sport where it used to be a little bit more open.
Yeah, to be playing in semifinals 7 or 8 months later is remarkable.
8-3. Point.
Backhand winner for Leigh Waters.
Again, here just 10 miles from the birthplace of our sport.
Side out.
Hoping to graduate early from high school to focus her attention solely on pickleball.
3-9.
Stinking schoolwork.
The highest paid female athlete on the pro pickleball tour
By a margin.
at
And
16 years old. It is incredible.
4-9.
And talk about crossing gender barriers. Pickleball, a perfect sport for that.
And that's where that anticipation of Castillo and Leigh Waters watching her compete.
And in what other sport can you play professional with your mom?
Absolutely.
Pretty cool. What a passing shot from cross court. Judit Castillo hanging on and staying alive in game 2.
And you can hear the effort that Castillo is putting into every rally, and then what a beautiful whip of a forehand.
6-9.
here comes Judit Castillo, trailing by 2.
And look whose shoulders are a little droopy right here. It's that lady right there.
Seven, 9. Side out.
Wow, just caught the sideline there, did Leigh Waters, but a nice push from Castillo there.
9-7. Point.
Another scamper where Castillo went to the right shot, just the wrong execution of throwing up a lob.
Match point for Leigh Waters. Judit Castillo takes a moment to dry off her grip.
10-7. Point.
Leigh Waters puts on a clinic once more on center court. And she is through to her 6th straight